everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I don't have an actual video today, or at least in this one. I will later, but not for this one. In this one, I asked a couple days ago, those of you who don't really know me very well, you're welcome to ask me questions and I will be happy to answer them. The only thing I asked was that you respect my relationship / marriage, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get to the questions and I will answer them as I read them. Okay, so the first one I see here is, and side note, never let YouTube drive you crazy or to the point of breaking. It's just the internet. People suck everywhere. LOL, keep on doing you. Not a question, but I'm still gonna respond to it. Thank you very, very much. You are absolutely right. It is the internet. Even though everybody on the internet is a real person, we still have to remember that some people will act tough on the internet and not in real life. So you never know. You could come across somebody who acts like a total douchebag just because he's using a keyboard. But if you were to meet them in real life, they would cower. Then we have people that are actual cowards on the internet and in real life. So, you know. But thank you. Thank you so much for the statement. You're absolutely right. So Many Victims 414 asked, would you ever go out in public and meet one of the frauditors if you knew they were in your town? Absolutely. My main goal at that point would be just to, audit them. I would literally turn on my phone and record their every move. I don't know, I can't say if I would talk to them or not. Until you get in that situation, you can't say whether or not you would talk or whatever. But yeah, I would definitely go meet them and I would definitely record them and give them a taste of their own medication. Thank you so much for the question. Teria Mon 9767, I probably butchered the name. I apologize. You look absolutely stunning, sweetheart. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know, up until a year ago, I had very low self-esteem and no confidence, but that has all changed since a year ago. I mean, even when I started my channel, I wasn't very confident, but the more people that started to subscribe to me and interact with me in live streams, and the more I got to know all of you, that confidence was slowly built. And it is because of you guys. So I appreciate everything. You guys having my back and interacting with me, and if there's something wrong, you're not afraid to come to me and say something, because hopefully I've made that clear that I will never get upset with you if you have criticism for me. I will always accept it. But thank you for your statement. Greg Sherburn. If frauditors go out of business, what group would you like to spotlight next? That is an excellent question. More than likely, sovereign citizens. I've been wanting to dive into them a little bit more. A big group that I would like to get into, and it's on my list as of even now, but going after people who are con artists. They use the internet to take advantage of people. Like Chili and Jeremiah. There's so many more out there just like those two. And I really want to get into that and start exposing them and make it to where they can't hurt people anymore. They don't realize that they're not only hurting people financially, but they're also hurting them mentally and emotionally. When somebody is so horribly taken advantage of in that way, where they're constantly lied to about, hey, if you give money, it's going to go to this. Or I'm going to go do this and fight for you if you give me money. Or I need money to get bailed out of jail. I need money to bail another frauditor out of jail. It's like, it's horrible. Their main objective is only to line their own pockets. And they'll do and say whatever they can to anybody, no matter who they are, just to make sure that happens. Just like Chili keeps saying, he has a mission. Yeah, his mission is to line that bank account. That's his only mission. And he's using and hurting people in the process. Jeremiah is the same. That is an awesome question. So yes, I would go after sovereign citizens, but I'm really, really wanting to dive into those parasites that use the internet to take advantage of people. I at one point thought about going after diddlers, but I don't know. That might be a little more dangerous on the dangerous side, so I'm not sure. But I would also like to start a channel where I do commentary on stupid TV series. Something like, MILF Manor, or, those dumb shows that are on TV. I would love to get into that and just start ripping it apart. Anyways, thank you for the amazing question. Moving on. Keeping it real 1. Besides the birds when you sit outside, LOL, I know, do you have any pets? I do. I love the dragon, by the way, in your profile picture. If I could have a pet dragon, I would. A real one, not a bearded dragon, but an actual dragon. I have 2 cats. One is Garlic and one is Kit Kat. Garlic is a Maine Coon with light beige fur. It's so beautiful. And Kit Kat is a ragamuffin who is calico as well. And a ragamuffin, if those of you don't know what that is, it's in between like a dwarf cat and a regular sized cat. Kit Kat will always be the size of a 6-month-old kitten. And it's just she is so adorable and fun. She still plays like a 6-month-old kitten too, and she's 7 years old. So I don't know, maybe her stature, keeps her young at heart. I'm not sure. I had 4 cats before moving to Texas. Ollie, who I'd had for 12 years, she passed away in July of last year. And then in August, right afterwards, my cat Kiki, who I had for 10 years, he passed away right afterwards from a broken heart. Like, he loved Ollie so much. What we didn't realize is that he had an enlarged heart. So when he went through a deep depression over her loss, it killed him as well. I'm still trying to get over those 2 losses. I was there when Ollie was born, and I raised her from the time she was 6 weeks old. Kiki I found when I was part of a cat rescue in Georgia. One of my cats, Daisy, who was a rescue, she was an outside cat, and almost every week she would find another stray cat and lead them back to my house. Like, every week there was a new cat. And you can always guarantee that when you see that cat coming to your house for the first time, Daisy is leading the way. Like, she would just go out and find these stray cats and say, hey, I know where you're going to get lots of food and love. Follow me. One time she brought 2 cats back. So it was like, what is she doing? Thankfully, we were able to get a lot of these cats rehomed after we got them fixed. It was amazing working for a cat rescue. I would love to start my own cat rescue. I think that would be amazing. The only problem is, and Robbie knows this and my son knows this, is it's really hard for me to rehome because I want to keep them all to myself. So that would kind of be a hard thing for me to do. Garlic, I actually helped birth Garlic. His mom was a stray cat. I had already taken care of and raised her first 2 bundles. And then I knew she was pregnant, but she took off for a while. And then I found her in the middle of my cul-de-sac, laying there, like, about to have her kittens. So my best friend Sarah and I, we took her in to the laundry room and let her give birth. Garlic was breech. She was coming out sideways, so I had to help. I pressed on her belly until I was able to move him over, and then I helped shimmy him out. And from that moment, my scent, he always thought I was mom. And this cat still today thinks I'm his mother. And he's always with me, always. If I leave for the house for even 10 minutes, he will cry until I walk back in the door. My son has texted me at times while I'm at Walmart. Mom, when are you coming home? I can't take this anymore. And I was only gone like maybe 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. He has severe separation anxiety. Anyways, did you know that asking me about my pets would go on and on and on? You'd get like this tremendously long story. No, you didn't. I apologize. But thank you for the question. I absolutely love talking about my fur babies. I can't have any more children. So, yeah, they are my children. Mark Harmon 7598. How long have you been married? Okay, I know I say I'm married. I know I call him my husband. We're not actually getting married until this month. We've been engaged for a while. This is a wedding that has been in the making for 27 years. Like most of you know, my oldest daughter, who is 27, is my fiance's daughter. We lost contact when I was 7 months pregnant after we broke up. And when I found him in 2013, she was 16 years old. And I gave her his information, said, hey, reach out to your dad when you're ready. I didn't know she'd take 8 years to do it, but she did. And she reached out, I believe it was in 2020. And then in 2022, I received a birthday card from him on my birthday. And it was the first correspondence I'd had with him in 26 years. Thanks to her reuniting us, we're back together and we're finally getting married. So I call him my husband prematurely, I know. But yes, we will be married this month. And I'm so excited. Okay, so Bleepers03 asks, what's your favorite classic car and your husband's favorite car and dream car? My favorite classic car would be a 1928 Cadillac Town Sedan. I absolutely love those. They were the gangster cars of the 20s and 30s. Absolutely beautiful car. And I also just love that time frame, or that time period back then in the 20s. The outfits, the way they wore their hair, and their cars were just beautiful. My dream car would technically be one of those. If I could get one, spruce it up to where it can go on the road, then absolutely that would be my dream car. I would love one of those. My husband's favorite classic car would be a 1969 Charger. He loves those. However, his dream car is a 1980s Jeep Wrangler, which is like night and day right there, but he has an obsession with 1980s Jeep Wrangler. I'm not sure why, but he does, and I love him for it. That was an amazing question. Thank you so much. Joseph Bridgewood asked, what is your favorite sport? What would be the type of man we go for? Okay. So my favorite sport is ice hockey. I love ice hockey. I've been addicted to ice hockey for about 30 some years now. My favorite team is the Red Wings, even though I'm very disappointed in them this year. I knew they went wrong when they decided to fill the team with all young players and first and second year players. They thought that if they had youngsters and new players on their team that they could actually beat the old timers. And, well, they were proven wrong. So I hope that they mix it up next season, because this season sucked for them. My second favorite season or team would be Colorado Avalanche. What would be the type of man we go for? I guess you're asking what kind of man I'm into. My fiance, he's absolutely wonderful. He's very romantic. He puts me above all else, which I still constantly tell him to stop doing, but he does it anyways. Again, extremely romantic. Like, he sings to me. He tells me every 15 to 20 minutes he loves me. He would take a bullet for me. He's even told me that if we were in the situation, he would starve so that I could eat. He's just so loving and so caring. And even, we have a daughter together, and then I have a son from my second marriage, or my last marriage, the one that I just divorced from 9 years ago. He has accepted my son as his own, and there was no question about it. He jumped at that chance, and he loves my son as if he was his own son, and my son loves him as if he was his biological father. That's the kind of man I go for. A man that will fight for you and love you unconditionally, no matter what your weird quirks are. He jokes with me. Like, if I joke with him, he doesn't get offended. Like, he jokes right back. We don't even fight. I don't think we've even had a fight. We've been back together a little over a year now. And no, I don't think we've had a fight at all. We've had little arguments here and there that usually last about 5 minutes. And that's just because we've learned how to communicate pretty early on. Neither one of us, I guess, could say that we've been in an adult relationship in our whole lives. So actually being in an adult relationship for the first time for both of us taught us how to communicate. And like, that's a key to any relationship, is communication. If you don't have communication, you don't have trust. If you don't have trust, you don't have love. If you don't have love, where's that marriage going to go? Right down the tubes. So yeah, somebody who communicates perfectly. We complement each other very well. He balances me. He grounds me when I need it. I don't even have to say, am I wrong? He'll tell me. You could have done this better. You could have done that better. Hey, let's sit down and figure out how to do that better. He compliments me constantly. Tells me I'm beautiful. He calls me his queen. Just the love. You can tell that he loves me by everything else that he does. That's the kind of man I go for. Thank you for the question. I love it. I love two-part questions. Respect your marriage, Jason D says. There goes my question. Winky face. Well, you know what? I do appreciate you respecting my marriage. You could have come right out and asked. I would have still either answered it or told you it was too personal. I don't get offended very easily at all. I am very thick-skinned. It takes a lot to offend me. So you probably could have still asked it. I would have said pass, or I would have answered it. But thank you for respecting my marriage. That was awesome. Ted Gibson, 5960. And there I was thinking I could sweep you off your feet. Dang it. What got you interested in auditors enough to make a channel? Do you have a law degree? You know what, Ted? You sweep me off my feet anyways. You're an amazing person. I consider you a friend. I love it whenever you're in my live stream chats. You really bring a lot to the table when you're in there. Let's see. What got me interested in auditors? I didn't even know what a frauditor or a First Amendment auditor, as you know, we all know that term does not exist. They made that up. I kind of fell into it. I had a personal run-in with Jeremy DeWitt when I lived in Florida. And I was looking some stuff up about him online. And that's when I came across the entire thing about him. Him being, you know, an impersonator, a police officer, stuff like that. I kind of figured that out by the way he reacted with me anyways. But I ran into Blue Bacon's channel. He was the first one I saw. From there, I started watching Schrodinger's Cat. And then I started watching Frauditor Troll and a bunch of others. I guess you could say I started my own channel because my son kept saying, stop screaming at the TV. Why don't you just start a channel and give your opinion that way? And it made perfect sense. Instead of yelling at the TV, why don't I just make a channel and give my opinion that way? So I went to Schrodinger's Cat and I asked him, hey, could you help me start my channel? He said, absolutely. We were working on that. And then unfortunately, he did pass away. We do miss him very much. And then I dropped the whole channel for about, 6 months. Didn't want to do it anymore. But then my son was like, why are you still yelling at the TV when you were trying to start a channel? Would you finish up and do that, please? So I went to Frauditor Troll and I said, hey, can you pick up where Schrodinger's Cat left off and help me build this channel? And he said, absolutely. So he helped me out. So basically it all started because of Jeremy DeWitt and his idiocy. Do you have a law degree? I do not. But because I've had to look up so much law and case law due to our stupid friend Chili, I have started studying for the bar exam and I will be taking it. And I'm going to go into probation law. I would like to be a probation attorney. At first I thought immigration, because I've done the whole K1 visa thing with my ex-husband. But we need more probation attorneys. We really do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm studying for the exam. I'm going to take the bar, and then I'll go into probation law. Thank you so much for the questions. I love those. Those are awesome. Thank you. Ganomanip, and I know I just butchered that. 2119. Is this a hobby, or are you trying to make it a job out of it? How did you get into frauditors? Which one made you start, and who is the one you dislike the most? I think I know. Alright, just explained how I got into frauditors. It started out a hobby, absolutely. But once the IRS laid off 1,300 of us to save their own ass because they didn't want to admit that they screwed up, so they blamed it on us agents, and they literally let go of 1,300 of us. It was hard for me to find another good paying job like I had with the IRS. So yeah, the channel went from being a hobby to now something that I'm trying to build up so that it becomes an actual steady income. That is one reason why I put my PayPal and my Cash App in my live stream scrolling across the screen. Because yes, I am trying to make this an actual business. Something that I can make steady money with. Who do you dislike the most? Let me think. Because if you're talking about a frauditor, then we're not discussing Chili, because Chili's not a frauditor. He's not an auditor. He's not a cop watcher. He's just one of those idiots out there with 2 phones and a laptop while he's driving, and then he just inserts himself into traffic stops and investigations just because he's trying to get attention and money. So he's not a frauditor or an auditor or a sovereign citizen. He's just trying to fit into whatever group will accept him. So far, nobody will accept him. So the one I hate the most who is a frauditor would have to be Elmo, Auditing America. I cannot stand him. I could not stand him before I even saw his criminal background record. The man is disgusting. He's just absolute vile. He is a parasite. And the more his channel is dying, the more he's being more annoying, more disgusting. I really, and his voice is just atrocious. So, yeah. You thought I was going to say Chili, right? I mean, I'm sure you know me a little bit. Anybody who knows me would know I would have said either Chili or Elmo. Then you also have Audit Them, but I didn't even come across Goat Boy until later because of Dr. Dave. Yeah, he's atrocious in himself. So yeah, that would be my pick for the one I dislike the most would be Elmo, because he's an actual frauditor where Chili is not. Thank you so much for the questions. I love them. Osbro1523. Very good looking woman. I didn't have any questions, so I left a comment. Well, thank you for your comment. And thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. It makes me feel pretty. The Thirst of Mike Honcho's Moist Parade 3625. I love the name. Don't know why people are honking. Weird. Anyways, the thirst is beyond ridiculous. Well, then get something to drink. I mean, do we need to call Chili so that he can do a fundraiser for water? I mean, if you're that thirsty, we will get you some water. Just let me know. If it's that bad, I'll get a hold of Chili. We'll do a fundraiser for water for you. You'll be set to go. Bill Anderson Whitey 5PL. Nothing I'm curious about. My brother is moving near Lubbock, Texas in a short week or 2. Well, good luck to your brother and tell him that I hope he enjoys Lubbock, Texas. I haven't been to Lubbock yet. I've only been in the area that I'm at. I will be traveling to Western Texas this weekend for Mother's Day. I'm spending it with my in-laws. So, yeah, that'll be as far as... I mean, I've been further into Texas because of the traveling when I moved down, but I haven't really ventured out yet. And I'm going to do that this weekend, or this coming weekend. So that'll be fun. But, yeah, tell him good luck on the move and to be safe. Gravitac, hi T, what made you decide to do YouTube and cover the lowlifes? Because my son told me to stop screaming at the TV and make a YouTube video to say my opinion. That's basically why. And he made sense. Like, why am I screaming at my TV, scaring the crap out of my cats and my kid, when I could just make a YouTube channel and give my opinion that way? It worked out for the best, I would think so. And what made me cover the lowlifes? I mean, because they're lowlifes. And my main reason for covering many of them, like Chili, is they need more exposure so that people can be more aware of them and not allow them to take advantage of them. If we can somehow stop people from being taken advantage of by Chili, then he wouldn't have anybody to take advantage of anymore. I'm working on that. It's slow, but I'm working on it. Thank you so much for your question. Oh my, okay, we've got broken system, broken trust. I forgot this was on the list. On a scale from 1 to 10, how close do audit or anti-auditor channels resemble troll channels? 1 being the least, 10 being exact match. I will answer, 10 out of 10. Well, if you answered, why are you asking me? I mean, come on, Josh. That was a stupid... First of all, anti-auditor channels, you call us troll channels. So technically, your answer would be correct. Because if you call us anti-auditor channels troll channels, then they would be the exact same. Again, please, I'm begging you, get an education. Learn to read, learn to comprehend, because this right here just proves you still haven't taken my advice and gotten an education. But thanks for the weird question. So that was the questions. I was going to probably wait another day or two before I answered them, but I didn't want everybody to think that I was just avoiding their questions because I hadn't covered them yet. But if anybody else wants to put questions in there, I have no problem doing a part 2. I know a lot of you already know so much about me, but if there is anything you want to know, I'll answer. Just remember, respect my relationship. That's all I ask. And I think you guys know what kind of questions not to ask in that aspect, but yeah, I trust you guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Take care, be safe, and I love each and every one of you.